So just say, give me a hand wave if you're gonna make pasta with me today. So do you have your ingredients? We need eggs, we need flour. I know it's hard to get flour. If you have 00, perfect. If you don't, just get your regular flour. It will still make a beautiful, delicious pasta. Just a little olive oil and a little bit of a salt, and we're gonna create this amazing dough. So what do you think? Shall we start? How many people do we have?
We have 28 people.
That's nice. That's good. I'm so happy to meet you guys. Welcome to my house. This is my backyard. We've been quarantining here with the kids. We work out, we eat and eat and eat. I hope everybody's safe and sound and staying healthy. We're doing our best, and hopefully this nightmare will be over. So shall we start? We're gonna start. So here I'm going to make pasta for about 4 people, 4 serving. And I'm gonna use 2 cups of flour. So I want to make a mountain at the beginning, right? So making pasta is all about feeling your dough. There isn't an exact measurement. So as you make it, you'll understand how your dough feels. It should feel. So I always put a little bit extra on the side. And today I'm gonna make, I know a lot of you don't have a pasta machine, so I'm gonna show you another technique how to use a rolling pin to have your pasta, or if you have a pasta machine, even better. But we all need a little workout, so the rolling pin works perfect too. So here's my mountain. So what I want to do, I want to go in with my hands right in the middle and create this big, beautiful hollow shaped mountain. Do you see that? It has walls that are going to keep my eggs intact. So for 4 people, one of my favorite recipes is to add more egg yolks. So today I'm going to do, let's see, here's my trash. I'm going to do 3 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks.
Someone asked, where is that beautiful place?
Oh, this is home. We're in Malibu. Lucky enough to be here. Where are you from?
There's a bit of a delay, so.
Oh, okay. So I save all my egg whites and put them in omelets or use them up or make cookies with them. So I said 2 egg whites and 3 eggs. Perfect. Yeah. We save that. And in here, we had to come and tape outside because all the kids are working inside, so I hope that's okay. It's a little windy. Just about a tablespoon of olive oil. Feel your food when you do it. A little bit of a salt. So the olive oil makes your pasta dough nice and supple. I always love to add it, and the salt just kind of picks up the flavor. I'm gonna use my fork to go in at the beginning. I break my egg.
They say how much flour and what kind?
Well, I'm starting off with 2 cups of flour, 3 eggs, and 2 egg yolks.
What kind of flour?
So the kind of flour that I love to use is a 00 flour. I know it's hard to get. It's for pasta. But if you don't have it, just use regular all-purpose flour. I hope that answers your question.
What's your favorite kind of pasta, Mom? Somebody asked.
Ooh, my favorite. There's so many to choose from. But I, believe it or not, like the simple angel hair pasta with pesto sauce. That's my favorite. I'm simple. So what I'm doing here, if you notice, I'm bringing in the flour very slowly, incorporating it into my egg, and I whisk it. You can go in with your fingers if you want, but I prefer not to yet. We're gonna have fun with this. So every time I bring a little flour, I whisk it in, incorporate it.
They want to know if you can use any other kinds of flour, like almond flour or corn flour.
Ooh, almond flour, those are like gluten-free almond flour. It will not hold together. It won't be elastic. So I don't recommend almond flour. I've never made pasta with almond flour either. It may taste weird, so no. Corn flour, no. Maybe I usually mix a cup of this with a cup of semolina. But are you looking for gluten-free? If so, use an there are some gluten-free flours, all-purpose flour. Try doing it with that. So you see the egg is still running. I'm still not ready to go in with my hand. I can still bring in some flour, incorporating it. Now I'm breaking my wall because obviously the egg is not gonna run out. And
Where does your passion for pasta come from?
where does it come from? It's just so, oh wow, I wasn't expecting questions like this, but that's great.
I can't answer all of them. We're going too quickly, but
Oh, so I started making pasta and I fell in love with it because it gives me so much diversity. It's such a playful food that I can play with, and it's just very versatile. I can put flavors in there, I can put colors in there. It's just such a fun place, and for some reason pasta is just such a magical food. So I just fell in love with it the moment I started making it.
do you use gluten-free flour? Does your flour have gluten?
This one does have gluten. Gluten-free flour is very tricky to work with because it doesn't have that gluten, that elasticity that to hold the pasta together. So yes, I do make gluten-free pasta as well. I did come up with a fantastic recipe that I've been working on. But it's a much trickier pasta to roll out and to shape. That's a different video I'll have to do. So going back to our pasta, do you see how much the dough is getting really tough now? So as soon as my arm starts getting tired, do you see it's coming into still really wet? I'm gonna go in with my hands now. So what I do, I'll flour a little bit on top so I can easily scrape off the dough. And if you guys have a bench scraper at home, use it. It's the best thing ever. When you chop up your vegetable, just pick it up, throw it in the pan. It just cleans up your whole counter. Making pasta, dough makes life so much easier. I think it's right around $5, but it becomes your right hand basically. So I have all the flour right here. I'm going to go in with my hand. So I'm not going to go in with my fingers because it's going to be really messy. I'm going to go with my back of my palm. This is the strongest part of your hand, right? So I'll work it in slow. Now we're going into the folding.
What is that utensil called again?
It's a bench scraper. Bench scraper. They come in different shapes and sizes, you know, but basically it's a bench scraper. Yeah. Get one. It's the best thing ever. That's $5. So I'm folding here. My dough is really wet. Wherever it's starting to stick to my hand, I'll sprinkle some flour. I roll my dough. I fold, roll, dough, and fold here. You guys see how wet this is absolutely not ready to roll out yet. We still need to work this. So this process, give it a good 5-10 minutes to knead. I'm just incorporating the flour in there by turning and doing. Who's making pasta out there? Are you guys gonna make pasta?
Let's see who responds.
I may be going too fast.
I think you're going too fast.
I'm going too fast. I've been doing this for a long time. As you practice, you do this more, it becomes like second nature. You just pick up the flour and you start doing it. It's super fun. But as far as kneading goes, I know my dough is so wet, so I'm bringing in more flour. And so I'm bringing the flour in slowly. I don't bring a big bunch because I don't want a dry dough. I don't want to dry out my dough. So the folding technique is you fold, you press, fold, press, fold, press. So I've done many pasta classes, and
someone just asked who taught you how to make pasta.
Who taught me? Okay, nobody taught me. I just got curious. I got very curious, and I watched a video from Thomas Keller, and he had a pasta video, and that's how I learned. And just experimenting and putting things together, and yeah, that's how it was. Yeah.
Someone is making pasta for their 99-year-old Nona.
I love
and they
that.
thank you for doing this.
I love that. Yes, Nona. Where are you from? That is so wonderful.
How do you know if there's too much flour, and how can you fix it?
Well, you'll know when it's too much flour when your dough is not pliable like this. So that's why you start off with 2 cups and then you bring in the flour slowly. See, I haven't added any more. Yeah, do you see that? So my dough is still wet. It's still not dried out. But I'm working the flour into this dough until it starts sticking to my hand, and I know I need to bring in a little bit more flour. You will start feeling out your dough as you start making it more and more. I'll show you.
It's Me Breeze says, "Hi Fiona, thank you for your great videos. I was wondering if you have any Iranian roots."
Of course I do. I'm Iranian, yes, I do. Nice to meet you, and thank you for liking my videos. So here's a perfect example that it still needs a little flour. Do you see how sticky it is? It's starting to get a little sticky. I don't want that stickiness. Do you see that? You see that? That's telling me that my dough needs a little bit more flour. I need to work the flour inside my dough. Yes. So I'm doing slowly. I'm sprinkling, not putting too much to dry out my dough. So wherever it's sticking, I put a little bit. You could make your pasta dough without the bench scraper. If you don't have it, it's completely fine. Just do it, and you really enjoy it. It's so once you make fresh pasta, you'll never go back to a packaged pasta because it's so delicious.
Where does the inspiration come for all your creative pasta creations?
I don't know. I have no plans. When I start making pasta, it just happens right there and then. Sometimes I get inspired when I see a pattern. I'm like, ooh, I love those colors. They go together. One time I was at the gym, and this guy, very interesting guy, he had these socks on with different colored flowers, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta make pasta out of that. That is so cool. Came home, made the doughs, and I think I have a post on that too. So inspirations are everywhere for me.
Someone says, "You are an inspired woman, Fiona. I'm gonna start my pasta business soon."
Oh yeah, I love love that. That's great. You do that. That's wonderful. Now, as I'm working that little flour, do you see how my dough is starting to get a little bit tougher? I'll tell you when you know it's ready.
Someone says you have a great color palette always.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Someone says, hi, I don't use any oil. Is that a problem?
No,
I love
it's
your
not
videos.
a problem. So the oil is just making your pasta more supple. If you don't use it, it's completely fine. It's completely fine. But try it one time with oil, see what happens, see if you can see a difference. Not much, but a little bit. So I'm picking up all the scrapes of pasta from here. See, all the little scrapes, and I'm gonna work this into my dough.
Oh, someone made lasagna because of you today.
Yay! I
In
love
Brazil.
that. Oh my gosh, Brazil. I love Brazil. How are you guys doing? I hope well. I bet it was a delicious lasagna. So my dough is starting to look really good. You see, it's not sticking to my hand anymore. It's nice, it's supple. And what I've done, I've made all those gluten, created all that gluten. It's so excited in there. It's working. And what I have to do, I forgot to bring my wrap.
Do you use food color or organic plants?
Oh, no food color. We're all about organic, natural food products. So for some colors that are, let's talk about colors. Before we do that, I want to tell you guys something about kneading. So I've had many pasta classes, and I've had people that really are going at the dough like that. And they're like, after a couple of minutes, they're like, oh my God, this is so hard. You know, they get really exhausted. But in reality, I can do like 10, 20 of these doughs a day, and I'm not that strong. So how you knead is that you don't need to muscle your dough. So what you're doing basically, gonna get a little bit here.
Yeah, somebody said they have bad shoulders, so they use the food processor instead.
You could, but just be careful you don't burn your food processor too much, because do half the kneading in food processor and do it half in here. I'll show you how you won't hurt your shoulder. So you shouldn't be muscling your dough when you're making dough. It could be pizza or pasta dough. So what you do, you just fold it, you roll, fold, you roll. Do you see how relaxed I am? Fold, roll, fold, roll.
Can you
That's it.
repeat the ingredients for people who are late?
Yes, of course I can. Hi, welcome. So I started off making simple pasta dough. I started off with 2 cups of 00 flour. If you don't have that, use regular flour, 2 cups. I use 3 eggs, whole eggs, and 2 egg yolks. I'm saving the 2 egg whites for later. We're gonna have something with it. About a tablespoon of olive oil, pinch of salt, and that's it. And I probably worked in about half a cup of flour into my dough to bring it into this. So do you see I'm not muscling my dough, I'm just going very relaxed. So you don't have to have a bad shoulder. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, so my dough is ready. Look how beautiful that looks. It's nice. Now, how do you know your dough is ready? I learned that from Thomas Keller. He said, pinch your earlobe, see how it feels, and then pinch your dough. It should feel the same. And I think it does. Yeah. So pasta dough dries out really fast. We have to wrap it up. I forgot to bring my wrapper, but I'm gonna use this wrapper for this because we're gonna roll this one out with a little plastic. Wrap it up like so. Now we got all the glutens excited in this dough, and what we have to do, we have to let it rest. We have to let it rest on the kitchen counter before rolling it out for about half an hour to 1 hour, or put it in the fridge and roll it out the day after. Up to 3 days, I would do the rolling. And this has been rested. I made this an hour ago. See how relaxed this is. See, this one is not relaxed. You see, when I press down, it's like coming back up. That means it needs to rest. We let it rest. This one has rested for an hour. Do you see how nice it is? Do you see how relaxed and beautiful this is? So it's easy to roll out. Now, how did I get this color? I'll tell you how I got this color. I mixed it in with some blue butterfly pea and some green, I think it was green spinach. Blue-green with my eggs. I put everything in a food processor and blended it, and I got this beautiful turquoise color. Be good. So now we're done with our pasta dough. This is gonna go rest in the fridge or in the counter, and I'm gonna start showing you how to roll it if you don't have a pasta machine. So we need always clean up your surface. Here we go. Beautiful. So I'm gonna start with a small piece. I need to get the bag. I'm actually going to put it in here. I don't want to go inside and leave you guys so it doesn't dry out. So one thing that we want to do is not to bring too much flour in our dough when we're rolling it out, because it will dry out. A lot of people say, why does my pasta, it's so, it cracks when it dries? It's because you're working too much flour in when you're rolling it out through the pasta machine or here. So we want to use as little flour as possible when it starts sticking. So here I'm going to start rolling it, turning it. The reason I'm turning it is making sure it doesn't stick to the surface. Do you see that? Now, sometimes if your dough is not relaxed, what happens when you're rolling out, it just doesn't roll out this easy. It keeps like shrinking back into itself. So to avoid that, what you do, just cover it up with a paper towel, let it rest for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then come and roll it out.
What's the most common mistake people make when they make pasta?
When they make pasta, common mistake, they flour it too much during this process. It dries it out. So we work so hard to create the gluten and work it into our dough. With the flour, we put the flour in to create that gluten, all that kneading. So we don't want to bring that flour here. I don't know if that makes sense, but we don't want to bring extra flour because we haven't created the gluten. We haven't woken up the gluten in it. So this pasta dough is still a bit too thick for me. I'm going to keep rolling it.
Someone says this backyard is very relaxing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It is very relaxing. We actually, every little part, we moved here, me and my husband, we made it, we designed it, and it's a good home. Raised our 3 kids here, it's great. So you see, if it starts to stick to the bottom a little bit, just very sparingly put flour, not much, and rub it off, just like that. There.
What kind of olive oil do you use?
I'm not very picky. I try to experiment with different, this is Parana olive oil. It's from Italy, Sicily, so that's the kind that I like, but I use different varieties.
What country are we in right now?
What country are we in? We're in the US. Where are you from? I love that. I love the fact that I get everybody from all over the world. So my pasta sheet is thinning out really nice.
Someone made spinach pasta on Friday and they want to know if the spinach taste is supposed to be strong. Theirs was subtle and it was beautiful pasta.
No, it shouldn't be strong. It shouldn't be overpowering. I love spinach pasta. Yeah, just make sure you squeeze all the juice out of it, so you know when you blend it in with the eggs. So I like this thickness that I have for my pasta. Do you see that? So basically the thing is, when you cook this will double. You don't want your pasta to be too thick, otherwise when you cook it, it'll be all gooey and not good. You want to thin it out as much as you can. So this is ready. This is ready to cut.
I think you have 2 people here from Spain. They say hello.
Hi, Spain. Oh, how wonderful. I love Spain. Beautiful people. So I'm going to make tagliatelle. Here I'm ready to cut my pasta sheet. Now I can flour it generously, because the flour is not going to be working into my dough. It's just going to help me cut it. So all this flour is going to go in my boiling water when I do it. So I'm going to fold it like this. Can you guys see?
Let me come closer.
The magic of pasta making really happens when you start to shape it and cut it. Everybody can make dough. There's so many fun ways to shape your pasta dough, and I'm trying to make videos to show you guys all the beautiful fun ways.
How long do you have to cook self-made pasta?
2 to 3 minutes, it'll be ready. Not long at all. Just watch it. So here's my did you see? So anybody can do this at home without a pasta machine. And here we go.
Here it is.
And so pretty, so pretty. If you want it, yeah. And then you just you could just toss some garlic with olive oil and put that in it with a little lemon zest. It's beautiful. It would taste really good by itself. Or just put some mushroom in, put some cherry tomatoes in. Just have fun and enjoy. Yeah, I like to dry my pasta about half an hour before I put it into salted boiling water. So do dry it out. And that's it. Yeah.
So what gave that pasta color? Somebody just asked.
Oh, I used the blue butterfly and spinach. So I mixed the blue and green together, and I guess the egg yolks have the yellow and it made the turquoise. Such a pretty color. Yeah.
Oh, somebody says no sound. What happened to your sound?
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Is it better now?
It's better now.
Oh, good, good, good. Yeah.
Oh, it was muffled, maybe? It's probably my finger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's it.
A lot of people want to know what your favorite pasta is.
Oh, my favorite pasta is angel hair. I love angel hair. And ragatonis, I love making ragatonis. Those are really fun to make, the tube ones. Yeah. Just have fun making pasta, different shapes. I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. And use your pasta machine if you have it to thin it out and do the cutting. And
Can they store the pasta?
oh yes, I forgot to go through it. Yes, you dry it up for about half an hour to an hour. Then put it in a bag. Make sure it's floured so it doesn't stick together. Then you put it in a bag. I've gone up to 10 days storing my pasta in the fridge, but it keeps really well in the freezer for up to probably 2 months or 3 months. I mean, it gets eaten before it's 2-3 months. But yes, it stores very well. But just make sure you dry it out a little bit before you put it away in the fridge. Don't put it out because it has eggs. Don't store it out. It does have eggs and it will go bad. So keep it in the fridge.
Awesome.
Very good. See you next time, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah?
Yeah, let me end it.